It's game 2 of the home-and-home series with the New York Islanders. Last night, the Penguins allowed 3 goals in a span of 1:35 in the first period. But they battled back to tie the game on Patrick Hornquist's goal in the third period. The Penguins had control of the puck for most of the overtime, but when it was all said and done, the Islanders won it on a shootout goal by Kyle Okposo. It's the rematch next on Root Sports. Well, they just honored Billy Smith before the game, the great goaltender of the New York Islanders. Battling Billy, there he is, and most noted for winning games, obviously, and winning Stanley Cups, but also whacking guys with his goal stick. And there he is, dropping the puck between the captains, Sidney Crosby and John Tavares. And Billy Smith also noted for not shaking hands at the end of a playoff series, Bob. He would just go off the ice. He would not join in the handshake.
Well, that's not very nice, but he also first goalie to score a goal too, Staggy. So there he is.
Yep, Billy Smith. And our Kia starting goaltender tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins is Thomas Greiss.
Well, Thomas Greiss, 2-1 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs in his last effort. And that was spectacular, the way he was able to make game-saving stops on the penalty kill. And Jaroslav Halak, a Slovak, drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, .946 save percentage in his last outing against Pittsburgh, and he has just been running the table. 5 straight wins for Halak.
Fourth line starts for the Islanders. Third line starts for the Penguins. Downey and Matt Martin going shoulder to shoulder right now as Brandon Sutter gets ready to take the face-off against Casey Cizikas to start this game. We'll keep our eye on the shenanigans of Steve Downey and Matt Martin here before the start of the hockey game.
The Penguins put their lineup on the ice first. Mike Johnson, the Islanders match it, and this is what they're going with. And Martin and Downey, they're going to be involved in this game one way or another.
It's going to be a physical hockey game. It should be a great one. As the puck is dumped into the Penguin zone, it's already an icing call against the Islanders. Thomas Greiss making his 4th start, all on the road for the Penguins. Tough situations. There you see the lineup for the Penguins here tonight. We thought that maybe Jason Megna would draw an assignment tonight. He was just called up from Wilkes-Barre today, but he is a scratch, and we'll anticipate maybe seeing him perhaps when the Penguins beat the Bruins on Monday night.
Simon Dupree is in the lineup in place of Robert Bortuzzo, the one lineup change in terms of skaters in the hockey game, as Sidney Crosby wins that too hard back to Martin.
And Paul Martin goes back for the puck into his own zone. Paul Martin lugs it for the Penguins as the Islanders back up into the neutral zone. And Letang finds an opening to dump it in. Around to the near side for Frans Nielsen. Now it's poked in behind the net by Como for Crosby. One hand on the stick. Crosby moves it out to the point. Ehrhoff for Crosby. Shuffles it along for Letang. A shot, and it hit Calvin DeHaan in front of the goal. And Frans Nielsen comes back now for the Islanders. Pushes it right to Ehrhoff, who just immediately banks it off the wall back up into the Islanders zone. Calvin DeHaan with it. He was banged up a little bit last night, but able to play here in this one. Olimata cuts it off and moves it out in center. Whacked into midair by Nikolai Kulemin. Kyle Okposo had it taken away by Nick Spaulding, but the Penguins are offside entering the zone. Time now for Rivers Casino tips to win.
Now, on this one tonight, Penguins need a better start. Yeah, they did score first, but then it was 3 straight goals by the Islanders in 95 seconds to really put the Penguins in a bad spot. They had no power play opportunities, only 10 in their last 5 games. They're going to be, well, they got to get the offensive zone, draw penalties, and get the head on a swivel in this hockey game, because these Islanders defense are very active. 11 goals total, and well, they scored a couple of good ones, including the Leddy one, where you got to be looking around.
Malkin's got good jump tonight. You can see that right away as Ehrhoff drives the puck into the Islanders zone. Christian Ehrhoff last night with 4 shots on goal, +2. He had a good game. And he seems to be getting better and better. Here's Tavares with Ehrhoff defending against him. John Tavares moves it along for Okposo. And Kyle Okposo knocked down over there in the corner. Brandon Sutter able to get to the puck, and he's able to push it ahead. Back to get it goes Nick Leddy, who scored a goal last night for the Islanders. Leddy winds it up the near wing. Tavares out in center. Taken there by Anders Lee. Lee down the wing, a shot, and a save made by Greiss. Lee wanted to try a wraparound, but Bo Bennett stayed with him as he turned the corner. And now it's carried to center ice by Downey to Bo Bennett. Bennett on his off wing shoots the puck, and a save made by Halak. And right there for the rebound is Ryan Strome. He sends it up the wall. And the Islanders, Anders Lee takes over with Brock Nelson trailing. Nelson with the puck. Nelson pulls the trigger. He just missed the net. And a big bounce off the boards. The net dislodged. And Greiss was able to find that loose puck as it came dangerously off the end wall right up towards the side of the cage.
Well, the Islanders got the rush going, and you take a look at Lee trying to protect the puck. Look how Bo Bennett chopping, whacking, hacking strong on Lee. Wanted to turn the corner and trying to wrap it in around the net. And then a 3-on-2. There's that big bounce off the back kickboard, if you will. And the net being knocked off its moorings by Syosset New York's Rob Scuderi.
Fourth line on for the Penguins. Fourth line on for the Islanders. Casey Cizikas against Marcel Goc. And Zach Sill does a good job to take the puck away from the Islanders, and Adams dumps the puck in. And Adams will get in after it now against Hickey. Thomas Hickey is able to shuffle it along for Cizikas up the right wing for Clutterbuck. His pass to the near wing, nobody there. Matt Martin, though, able to jam it into the Penguin zone. And Greiss will stop it there for Chris Letang. Here comes Clutterbuck. Letang felt him coming and dodged that check. And Craig Adams on the near boards, hit by two Islanders, Cizikas and Martin. Adams playing tonight in his 900th hockey game for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, and you better know. You can feel them coming. You can hear them coming. Martin, Cizikas, Clutterbuck. Martin's led the league in hitting the last 3 years and leads it again this year.
There's a shot, and it's up high and over the blocker of Halak and out of play as Blake Comeau let it go. He had a physical game last night, Comeau.
Oh, he had 8 hits in the game last night, the ex-Islander Blake Comeau, and he got involved as well. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, Comeau, the ex-Islander, he scored in the hockey game. Spaulding, another new addition to the club with a ton of character from Nashville, he scored, and then Hornquist came over as well in the Neil trade. He scored as well, Staggy. So some of those new additions here by Jim Rutherford are really paying off.
Ehrhoff goes back on an icing call. And what's interesting about Comeau is that he can play anywhere. He and Spaulding are probably asked to do more now than they would have thought they would be. I think they were brought in to be depth players, not necessarily top 2 line players. But Blake Comeau has a resume that had him scoring 24 goals for the New York Islanders in 10-11. So he can put the puck in the net. He can skate. There's no doubt about that. So it's a nice luxury to have a guy like him who can move up and play on that right wing with Sidney Crosby with Pascal Dupuis on the shelf. And here is Grabowski. Oh, boy. Malkin almost picked it off. And Hornquist just unable to corral the puck, and he'll dump it to the corner. Malkin really flying tonight, by the way. He just got knocked down by Hamonic, who always checks him. So that's a matchup that Jack Capuano will get tonight if he wants it. Hamonic on Malkin. And now Ehrhoff pulls it in near side, jams it on the wall. Taken there by Spaulding to Malkin. Malkin back for Spaulding. He was hooked as he went to the net by Tavares. Nothing called. And the slap shot by Ole Mano is stopped by Halak. Penguins did not draw one penalty last night somehow in the hockey game. And now here's Patrick Malkin with it, now looking for Hornquist. He goes back for Ehrhoff, and it's knocked away by Grabowski back to center ice.
Malkin seems determined in the hockey game, but Hamonic, even when the puck's not on Malkin's stick, he's all over him.
Nick Leddy drops it off. Raposo with a drive, a stick save made by Greiss. Greiss is going to have to be alert for those pucks coming off the wall. You've seen that already here. There's Raposo with it. Moves it to the point, and it's a shot by Boychuk that was partially blocked by Kunitz. Leddy lets it go wide of the net. Boychuk charging in against Kunitz to get to it. Kunitz holds him up as he jams it back around to the near side, and Letang there. Letang trying to get a hold of the puck. So is Malkin. Letang banked it to the corner where Chris Kunitz has possession. Gets himself turned around for Letang. Nice outlet to Kunitz here, and Kunitz into the Islanders zone, surrounded by blue jerseys, and Brock Nelson takes it away. And now Sidney Crosby trying to apply back pressure, and he does. Comeau's pass for Crosby in his skates. Those two kind of collide, but Sid snaps it back on defense. And here come the Penguins. Crosby curling back to take that puck, and now Martin dumps it up into the corner. Brock Nelson picked it off, and the Islanders counterattack. Strome with it. Strome also had a goal last night. He dumps it in behind the net. Kunitz, though, over to play it now for Pittsburgh. Kunitz looked to the defenseman Paul Martin, but it was off the stick of Strome, and now back to Hickey. Hickey's lead pass off the stick of Anders Lee into the Penguin zone. Simon Dupre back to play. Sutter returns the puck to Dupre. Dupre moves it to the left wing to Bo Bennett. Bennett for Sutter. Now to Scuderi. Back to the corner for Brandon Sutter. Bennett was in front of the net. And Calvin DeHaan's going to get to the puck first. Trying to get it out. And it does come to center where Dupre backhands it. DeHaan mishandled it for a moment, but then able to whack it off the boards. Dupre tried to slap it deep, and he does. He took a hit from Matt Martin to do that. Now it's DeHaan with it. Tried to go up the middle, stolen by Bennett, and he quickly looked for Downey. He knew where he was in the vicinity, but he just couldn't get it through to him. Now Sutter looks for Bennett again. Those two kind of collide, and the Islanders start up. It's Matt Martin.
What I've liked in this game is Bo Bennett's physical play. He can play that way. Downey and Sutter, and it doesn't matter who you play with Sutter right now. You better come to play because the puck's going to be in the offensive zone. You're going to get chances. You're not just a checking line.
This is Josh Bailey with Grabowski. Ehrhoff gets in front of Grabowski. Sends the puck up the wall. Boychuk pinched down on the boards. Malkin trying to get a hold of it, and he does. Malkin is absolutely levitating on his skates tonight. You can just feel it. The puck is dumped in by Ole Mata. He seems like he's on a mission here after being kneed in the inside of his left leg last night by Johnny Boychuk.
Yeah, Boychuk, he played more minutes than anybody last night for the Islanders. 21-36.
Look at Leddy trying to go coast to coast, and he got a good backhand shot off, and Grace equal to that task.
Now another shot by the defense. 12 last night for the Isles.
Hickey with a drive. Good save. Rebound. Oposo was stopped by Grace, who scrambled to his left to make the save on a second chance opportunity.
Yeah, I tell you, the defense is so active right now for the New York Islanders, causing havoc in the Penguin zone.
There's Tavares now. He's feeling it. He shoots it. He just missed on the glove side of Grace. We have a good advantage point. I'll look at Grace here because we're down at the other end of the rink. We can really see how big he looks in the net from up here. And he is a guy who covers a lot of net.
Oh, Tavares. A magical move there.
Wisnowski's shot. Glove down by Grace. Adams gets to the rebound. And this is a jam-packed arena tonight here on Long Island, and it's a loud building. And the fans are really enjoying what they're seeing so far.
With a high stick on
the Islanders with a sudden surge have 5 shots all of a sudden to 2 for the Penguins.
You know, that's what happened last night. All of a sudden, just a surge. And for the New York Islanders, defenseman Leddy, he had one last night, the ex-Hawk. A good chance against Grace. And Tavares was working his magic as well.
Nick Smalling has many skills. Growing a mustache for Movember, well, that's not one of them. As for the Westmoreland Eagles Squirt 2 team, yeah, they got it going on. This is the second time that we have profiled their stashes. Thanks for sending in the picture. Bob, aren't you jealous that your duster from 1983 is not as good as that? And that is a duster.
Oh, thanks, Becky. You're putting that on. Finding that somewhere.
Hey, that was in back then. Here's a shot up high. Taken there by Nielsen, and the rebound. A hand pass. And they're going to bring the face-off outside the zone. Boy, that was a good shot by Nielsen from the left wing wall. It just kind of took a half slapper. It was a rising shot on Thomas Greiss.
Greiss fought it off. And then a hand pass, you can see right there was a knockdown by a glove. Face-off comes outside the Pittsburgh zone, and Thomas Greiss 6 shots he has faced so far in this one.
Which means he has stopped 69 of the last 71 shots that he's faced. He's making the saves, Thomas Greiss. Now back to the corner goes Ole Mata. Mata swings it along for Sutter. Backhands it up the wall of Bennett. Didn't take it cleanly. And Boychuk with a slap shot and the save made by Greiss. And now here's an opportunity for Strome. He fans on the shot. And Greiss able to freeze.
Thomas Greiss 2-1 on the season. 1.96 goals against. This is what he's done. Compare his save percentage this year to last. And his goals allowed. Wow. So a lot of improvement already in his 4th game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Thomas Greiss. Oh, look at that Yeti on his mask, Steggy.
This is his 11th road start in the last 15 starts that he's made as an NHL goalie, going back to last year. So he is used to playing on the road, a road warrior. Thomas Greiss. Here's Oposo. He stumbled, and the puck pulled away by Ole Mata, and he moves it ahead, and it's going to come to Christian Ehrhoff, who makes a short little pass to Patrick Hornquist, and he'll dump it to the corner. Nick Smalling getting in after it. And hits Boychuk, but Oposo has it. Malkin climbs right up behind him and almost took it away from him, but now it's Kuhlman. Malkin's old line mate at Magnitogorsk for Tavares. Tavares is checked by Ehrhoff, who all in one motion was able to flush that puck out of his own zone to center.
How about Ehrhoff? 25 minutes last night. He was +2 against A. He's a +12. +12 already for the Penguins. Far and away the best numbers in that category.
I think he's quietly really kind of risen to that level that we anticipated he would be able to play at. Now here's Letang, and he gave it to Nielsen, who dumps it in, and Paul Martin has it there for the Penguins. 7 shots for the Islanders, 2 for the Penguins. Crosby on the attack, shoots it, and Halak makes the save. And you know that Mike Johnston wants to see the Penguins raise the shot volume, especially early in games. But so far, it's been the Islanders getting most of the shots. We invite you to tweet us to Root Sports Pit using the hashtag PensBooth. Send your comments, questions, thoughts about the Penguins. Brought to you by Point Park University. We'd love to hear from you. And we'd like to hear from Point Park students. If you have any Point Park students out there who are watching right now, send us a tweet. Face off to the right of Yaroslav Halak. Crosby against Nielsen. Nielsen pulled it back. Almost shot it on his own net.
Actually, Sid tried to score off the face.
Did he? Was that him that pushed it there? All right, here's Kunitz now. He shoots it, and Halak loves it coolly and holds on it. And Sid going right to the net.
Yeah, he tried to score. Why not? Mario scored off a face-off. And Sidney Crosby tried to bang it right through the legs. Right there of the Nielsen, and Nielsen went down knowing that Sid was doing it to try to block the shot. I mean, incredible stuff. It's not as if there was 0.7 left on the clock or anything. Talk about shot volume. That's a little, it's taking it to another level, trying to get a shot that way.
Sutter wins the draw cleanly. Martin with a shot, and blocked in front. It comes to Sutter. Bo Bennett, nobody home. Martin came all the way over this way. He had to race over there to keep the puck in. Now it comes to Bo Bennett. And Bennett for Letang in his own zone. Paul Martin back for Bennett at center. Trying to drag that puck ahead. Couldn't do so. And now Anders Lee chases it, but Letang goes back to get it. Letang to Paul Martin for Bo Bennett. Now for Sutter. And it jumps out of play.
Now, Bo Bennett, that's the hardest part of the game. Right-handed shot, playing left wing in your own zone. Puck has got to get out, not back.
For our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update.
Hockey's definitely second in my mind right now. And, yeah, they're the most important one in my life right now. Family at home, so just got to be healthy for them.
Well, you can certainly feel the emotion. Pascal Dupuis talking about his family earlier this week. Not an easy thing to talk about under the circumstances in front of everybody and his teammates there to support him. Here's a chance for Clutterbuck, and he shot it wide on the glove side of Greiss.
And then he was hammered by Downey. Steve Downey getting physical on Clutterbuck.
Downey drops it back to Ehrhoff. Into the middle now. Bo Bennett stick handles his way down the right wing. He's hit hard on the near side by Hickey. Now Sutter gets in on the forecheck. Bo Bennett runs into Tavares. Up the wall it comes for Downey. Downey with a slapper and the save by Halak. And there's Sutter right there looking for the rebound. And Hickey boxing out on Bo Bennett as Halak is able to freeze it.
Bo Bennett physical on Tavares.
Here's a question that came in a couple of games ago on Tweet the Booth.
What's on the side of Greiss's helmet? The mask. That is the Yeti. The abominable snowman. Kind of the American Sasquatch, Staggy, and it's an angry one there on the mask.
It's a good one for him because he is a big dude, man, in the net. He's not tall, but he's a wide body.
Takes up a lot of space in that 4x6 cage.
Leddy able to get to center ice. Boychuk skates to the puck. And the former Bruin is hit by Scuderi. He keeps on going, and then Dupre tried to hit Boychuk, but Dupre stumbled and fell. Now it is Kuhlman to the puck. Back to Oposo to Kuhlman. Kuhlman risks it in deep. Tavares is there. Tavares, one hand on the stick. Dupre whacking him as he threw it back towards the net. Scuderi cleared it to the corner. But now Kuhlman with a shot and a save by Greiss. But Dupre tried to clear it. It came bouncing towards the near wall. Spalling battling his way towards the puck, but Oposo got there. And the physical battles right now, at least at this moment, are being won by the Islanders. Oposo trying to shoot it. Now Hornquist steps in, and the Penguins able to get it to center. Patrick Hornquist slides it towards the Islanders zone. 8 minutes remaining in the first.
A lot of hard work in that shift, Aggie. Simon Dupre Simon Dupre almost ended up in the lap of Marc-Andre Fleury in that hallway, the way he went into the wall.
Paul Martin back poking it free. It pops up in the air and right to the glove of Thomas Greiss.
That was strange. Yeah, Paul Martin tried to bat it out of the air, and Greiss was certainly paying attention. He taps Martin on the back side right now and says, "Hey, I got you."
Well, I noticed Dupre really whack at Tavares, and it reminds me of some of the treatment that you see that the Penguin star players get from other defensemen on the other side. The way Dupre was just sort of hounding Tavares and bothering him with the stick as he was trying to protect the puck.
Yeah, you don't mind that, do you? And it's something I think that's been wacky all the way back to when Halak and the Canadians beat and Camilleri beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in the old building, Staggy. You got the star players. You got to give them extra attention. You can't let them walk around this ice. And Bo Bennett went after Tavares on the last shift as well. They have to be paid special attention.
Here's Como reaching for the puck. It goes to the corner, and back to get it goes to Hahn. We've certainly seen the Penguin stars take more than their share of abuse over the years. Here's Crosby with it now, and back to center ice it goes to Paul Martin.
Sid's taking some verbal abuse in this building too, with the sellout crowd here on Long Island.
Offside. We'd like you to welcome the Johnsonburg community TV viewers in the Johnsonburg area of Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching and rooting on the Pens. All of us at Root Sports and the Penguins appreciate your support. There's Johnsonburg. Olimata. Adams poked it back to center ice. The Penguins have 8 right-handed shooters available to them now with the addition of Jason Megna. It's amazing. Adams, Downey, Hornquist, Como, Megna, Bennett. Here's Gotchin over the line. Still looking for the puck. Gotch controls it in the corner.
You would think there's going to be a penalty called somewhere along the line. The Penguins are going to get a power play.
Ehrhoff with a good shot. Still looking for his first goal as a Penguin. And the save made by Halak. Ehrhoff with it again. Skating with authority right now. His old coach is sitting up in the broadcast booth. Here's Mata shooting high and wide, and it comes off the end boards. Now Ehrhoff again to the backhand. Trying to get it to the corner, but it's Anders Lee working it back out to center ice.
We've noticed the boards are bouncy. Ole Mata, the youngster, has noticed it as well, and he shot that last one wide on purpose on Halak so it would bounce out. So he shot it off the lane of the defender, trying to get that bounce off the kickboard, the back wall.
5:45 to go in the first period. There was one power play opportunity last night for the New York Islanders, none for the Penguins, and we haven't seen a power play yet here in this one. Off the skate of Malkin. Nick Leddy back to get it. Malkin chasing. Back it goes into the Penguin zone, and Simon Dupre.
Give it back to Malkin. There you go. Let him go. That might be a nice goal. They did give Simon Dupre the red line there. I don't know if he got it or not.
There's Bennett with it now. He snaps it out towards Letang. His slap shot deflected. I think Hornquist got a piece of that on Halak. Able to make the save. Oposo coming to center, and Paul Martin just reached back and poked it off the stick. But now Tavares coming in, closing in, shooting. Oh, a good blocker save made by Greiss. Oh, he is sneaky quick, Greiss. Yes. Now back to center comes Downey for Sutter. Trying to get around Hamonic. Downey was hit by Tavares, but to the net comes Sutter. Oh, he centered for Bennett, and he puts it just wide. In a fight here. It's Hamonic and Downey.
Now Downey had enough of Hamonic running around at Penguin star players, and he dropped the gloves. Hamonic's a tough customer, and we know Downey is. Oh man, a good left by Downey.
And a good left by Hamonic. And a right by Downey, and another right. And down goes Hamonic, and Downey still throwing punches.
That's a good scrap. Couple of good opportunities in front of Halak. Next thing you know, you got laundry all over the ice. Tavares, Hamonic, Downey had enough. Let's go, he said, and Hamonic obliged. Hamonic and Downey off 5 minutes each for fighting. Thought the first time these two have dropped the gloves. Downey hit Nielsen, and Hamonic jumped in Pittsburgh to scrap with Downey. And tonight, Downey and Hamonic went at it, and Downey was lefts switching to rights. Linesmen get in and break it up, and pretty good stuff there. You talk about protecting star players. Hamonic trying to protect Tavares when he was on the ice, hit by Downey. And we just heard Bo Bennett went to the room, and we'll see if he when he gets back with 4:36 left here in the first period of play.
Jack Capuano exchanging pleasantries with the referee over there, Dean Morton, as you saw on the screen, as Morton went over there to explain something. And now it's Kunitz with the puck. Kunitz on the near wall. Out for the point to Letang, and his shot comes sailing in on Halak, and he just is able to blocker it up into the netting. 9 shots for the Islanders, 7 for the Penguins.
Halak's in his 13th game for the Islanders. A good pickup for them in the offseason. One of the few good pickups here. Garth Snow, the general manager of the New York Islanders, doing a good job putting this team together. A good blend of youth and a couple of older players, but they certainly had to upgrade the goaltending position. They've done that. Winning a lot of one-goal games. 8-1 in the one-goal game category of the New York Islanders.
Letang over to Paul Martin. Sends it hard around to the near side, and right there is Cizikas. Now Matt Martin battling. Como there as well. They're all tangled up. Boychuk looks to the left wing, and Matt Martin. Cizikas takes the pass from him. Got a man cutting to the net, tried to get it that way. And Rice able to sweep the puck aside, and the man who was going to the net ends up in the net. That's Clutterbuck went that way. Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob and Jay. Dan Potash will speak with Simon Dupre.
+7. He's in the top 5 in the National Hockey League in hits per minute. Mike Johnson's got him back in the lineup. He doesn't know what the rotation will be with 7 defensemen healthy right now. Robert Bortuzzo a scratch here tonight after playing 9.5 minutes last night and getting into a fight.
Oposo to Leddy, his shot, and he fired it high and wide off the glass. Islanders use those defensemen well, and they've been productive.
Yeah, and they picked for them up high. Kuhlman picked Hornquist in the high slot there, allowing the defense to shake free. A nice little subtle pick for the New York Islanders in the high slot.
Here's Malkin with it. Malkin closes in. Malkin pulls the trigger, saving the rebound, score! Jammed in. Spaulding was there. And once again, the Penguins with a dirty goal against the Islanders. They score first. And Spaulding and Malkin obviously enjoying the little bit of chemistry here all of a sudden.
And Malkin, he said, it looked like he was levitating on his skates, gliding, working hard, but he dug the puck out from the wall. And he fought off some stick checks going to the net. He danced Leddy, and that puck dribbled behind the netminder, Halak. I think it's going to be Malkin's marker. Spaulding was trying to get a stick in there, but it got across the goal line prior to anybody touching it. It's going to be Malkin's marker. Yeah, and Malkin is on a mission here tonight. And, of course, give Downey a little bit of credit, maybe a lot of credit. He takes Hamonic off the ice. Hamonic should be out there checking against Malkin, but no, he's in the penalty box. Great job by Downey. That's a trade-off the Penguins will take.
Here's Brock Nelson with it down the wing against Dupre. Dupre stands him up, rides him off the puck, but he's able to reach around and poke it in behind the net. Anders Lee there for the Islanders. He tried to go to Wisnowski. Now Lee able to work it to the corner to Strome, and Ryan Strome works it back towards the point. Tipped over to the near side for DeHaan. His shot, and Dupre got a stick on that easily. Now Dupre sends it up the wall for Brandon Sutter. Sutter had it taken away, though. Finally, the Penguins are able to get the puck back to center. Adams cleared it to neutral ice and then turned and went to the bench. Sutter in on the forecheck. So it will be Malkin's goal from Hornquist and Spaulding.
That's a Penguins goal by Sutter on Mountain.
Sutter trying to get it to the net. Sutter, Kunitz, and Como at the moment. The Penguins want to get Sidney Crosby on the ice. He steps on. Sutter goes to the bench. Martin's pass for Como comes through, and then Como lost control. It'll be dumped by Grabowski of the Islanders into the Penguin zone. Grace sets it up there for Letang. Letang skating out of his own end. Goes around Josh Bailey to get the puck up to Kunitz. Kunitz goes rink wide with it. But there is Nick Leddy. Leddy protects the puck and finds Grabowski at center. Crosby stepped up on him. It's Grabowski cutting in, shoots it. And Paul Martin got over just in time to get a stick on that shot, and up into the netting it goes.
So the Penguins are on the board first here tonight, as they were last night. The New York Islanders won the game last night to go to 6-1 when they don't score first. And well, we'll see what happens here in this one.
I think the first goal, when it comes later like this, after a battle, and then when each team is really trying to get that first goal, means a little bit more than when, like, you get it a minute and 13 in, as the Penguins did last night. You get a false sense of what kind of start it's going to be for your team. The Penguins obviously were not as ready to play that game as that early goal might have indicated last night. Here's Oposo with it on the wing. Centers, and a great pass. Tavares' stick to the near side, and Leddy puts it into the corner. Oposo behind the net. Ole Mata leans on him. They let him go. And he did.
Yep. Now there's the call. There's the call. They gave him the hold, but they didn't give him the hook. And the referee gave him a break on the first one. Mata let him go. And then he got the long lumber in there under the arm. He's going to go off for a hook. Take a look.
Mata not agreeing with the call all the way to the penalty box.
No, actually, there's the stick there, and you think Kyle Oposo drew the call. He tucked that stick under his arm. With one hand on the stick by Mata. He's taking a look up top. But veteran play there by Kyle Oposo.
Mata had a beef for sure. Here is Frans Nielsen with it now. The Islanders go to work with the man advantage. Boychuk. Oposo. Shot deflected and cleared by Paul Martin. Johnny Boychuk was pretty dangerous early in the season. He had 6 points in the first 4 games. He's had only 6 in the last 14. He's gone 15 without a goal, but he was drawing rave reviews at the beginning of the year when the Islanders came to Pittsburgh for that big bump, booming shot. There's Frans Nielsen down the wing. This is Boychuk, the far side. They set it up from the right wing wall. Boychuk's blast, and a blocker save made by Grace as it came through traffic. He really can bring it. Tavares, Boychuk again with a drive, and Grace makes the save, and the rebound cleared by Letang. He did not have control of the puck. The whistle had blown. Letang got there just in case, but I think the play was already whistled down.
Yeah, it was. And Letang took a big hard hit by Nielsen in the corner after a Boychuk shot, hit some bodies in front and dribbled wide to the blocker side of Grace. But take a look at the Boychuk shot, hits some bodies, then it dribbles by the blocker side of Grace, and Nielsen went in and really tagged Letang after that. Boy.
Now you get a good look at that shot we're talking about from Boychuk. A couple of blasts, big, huge windups.
Yeah, he's got a big windup. It takes him some time to get it off on the odd occasion, but it's a bomb. It's one you don't want to stand in front of, but you have to if you're going to kill penalties.
Or if you're going to be a net front presence on the same team. Here's Oposo shooting, and it's off the stick of Scuderi and off the glass. 2 seconds to go in the period. Shots are even at 9. And it's the Pittsburgh Penguins, who still have 50 seconds to kill when the second period begins, leading 1-0 on a goal by Evgeny Malkin. Malkin's 8th of the season.
Well, that's a better start for Pittsburgh, and Thomas Greiss looks sharp in the net. 9 shots apiece. And the Penguins will have 50 seconds left to kill on a Mata penalty when we start the second.
Hornquist and Spalling assisting on the Malkin goal. Let's go to Robin Jay in Pittsburgh.
Skill, plenty of grit, a fight. Sounds like a perfect game. The great Rick Tocchet, the Pens assistant, is with Dan Potash at Nassau Coliseum.
Rick, I don't think you were probably very pleased with the way things were going for you as far as offense goes until Gino scored that goal. Why were the Islanders able to carry the play and keep you guys hemmed in your own end?
Well, they're coming through the neutral with a lot of speed. We're not getting above the puck on our forecheck, and that's giving them a lot of speed. So we're going to have to be above the puck, track better. He's got to obviously gap up and kind of close that middle.
All right, Rick, thank you.
Okay, bud.
Gentlemen?
Okay, thank you, Danny and Rick. Well, Bob, really, I thought it was a pretty evenly played period for the most part.
Yeah, I thought they did a better job. I don't think they were hemmed in too much. Not like last night in the first period of play for the Penguins, but you know, they get the big goal from the Malkin unit, and you're finding that chemistry now with Hornqvist and Spalling. They come over from Nashville, and anybody who's been playing with Hornqvist has been finding success. He goes to the front of the net quite. All the time. So you just got to get pucks to the net as much as you can. And Malkin was able to, just get a kind of a lucky bounce there. Halak probably would want that back. But when you have traffic in front, you never know. Goaltenders have a lot on their mind, and that's what those two have done with Malkin in the middle.
You got to be pretty impressed with Nick Spalling's desire to go to the net, huh, Bob? That's something the Penguins needed more of. One of the reasons they brought him in here. So he gives you that on that line, that desire to get there into the paint. Spalling has done a lot of that as we start the second period. The Penguins and the Islanders. So the Penguins leading 1-0 and 42 seconds to go in this Islander power play. Boychuk in pretty good position. Shoots and he just missed the goal. Boy, he was up pretty tight to the net there as he pulled the trigger. And now on the near side, it's Tavares. John Tavares controls it from the half wall. Sends it through the slot off a stick. Back to the net. Greiss able to corral the puck. And then it's cleared aside. Boy, close call there, but Greiss was still able to stop that shot by Nielsen as it came through traffic. Now it's Oposo with it. Back around to the near side. 9 seconds to go on the penalty to Wally Mata. Penguins able to clear and get it back to center ice.
No, the Penguins are really helping out Thomas Greiss. Any loose puck around off his equipment, they're clearing. Paul Martin had 5 block shots in the first period of play. 5 block shots again. So good defensively, and he's upped his ante this year defensively. I know he's not playing as much on the power play, but he's invaluable. Seriously, he's just incredibly good defensively.
Matt Martin with a shot, and he's fired that one over Greiss and off the glass. Suzuki sends it back in behind the net. And Matt Martin works the corner now. Brings it up high. Reverses it in behind the net for Cal Clutterbuck. To the corner and Cizikas. He's confronted by Chris Kunitz, but finds Martin. High cycle now as Hickey moves down. He shoots it through the goal mouth to the near side, and Wisnowski will take it. Wisnowski trying to get it to the net. Kunitz takes it ahead now for Crosby. Couldn't take the lead pass. Sid gets in on the puck. Try to bank it in off of Halak, who was getting back into his goal crease, and he was able to shuffle it to the corner. Now Kunitz trying to win the battle on the wall, but the Islanders come to center ice. It's Cal Clutterbuck into the Penguin zone. He dumps it to the right wing corner. Scuderi goes back to get it. Hit by Anders Lee. Hornqvist had to go off his stick, but right to Ehrhoff, who's able to make sure he gets it out to center. Nick Leddy to Boychuk. Ahead now for Lee. He can't do anything with it, and Malkin trying to skate the puck out, couldn't do so. Scuderi whacks at it against Josh Bailey. Behind the net, it goes right to Strome. Brian Strome brings it up. Chased by Ehrhoff all the way to the blue line. Back behind the net, Bailey hit hard by Scuderi. Scuderi able to move the puck along for Ehrhoff, and he'll turn it off the wall and back out to center ice.
Good play there by Greiss to help out his defenseman there and get a clean breakout. Malkin comes all the way back for it. Bo Bennett is on the Penguins bench, and the Penguins kill the power play.
Here's Malkin with it now. Scuderi dumps the puck into the Islanders zone to the corner. Stopped by Halak instead behind him. They'll just send it right back up the near wall. Brandon Sutter. Bo Bennett. Bennett against Hickey. Now around for Sutter. Behind the net to Zach Sill. Dupre moves up on a high cycle and brings it down low. Shoots it short side to save made by Halak over there. As Dupre came sneaking in from his defensive position. Now it is John Tavares into the Penguin zone. Back into the corner it goes. Kuhlman has it there, working against Zach Sill. Sill trying to keep him from getting to the front of the net. And Kuhlman sends it around to Tavares. Mata checks him. Now it's Sill with it. Back behind for Ole Mata and Simon Dupre. Zach Sill into the Islanders zone. Drops it off for Sutter. And he'll sail one off the glass, where Letang will get the carom and try to get it to the front of the net. Shoots a sharp angle. Save made by Halak. And he's able to freeze the puck at the side of the goal.
Zach Sill getting a chance on that third line down. He's still in the penalty box. Halak misplays a puck, and Sidney Crosby tried to bank it in off the backside of Halak, and then Simon Dupre with that little cycle comes in from his point position and tries to sneak one in on the short side. Simon Dupre, 5 minutes in the first period, had 3 hits. And that play there, Halak, where he misplayed it behind the net to Sidney Crosby, it would have been an ice, but Halak instead went out to play the puck and misplayed it, actually.
Penguins win the draw. Letang to Crosby. Quick shot. Is blocked away in front. Chris Kunitz back for the puck. Grabowski on him. Bailey in there as well for the Islanders. Letang pried it free. Como up the wall, but it's going to be taken by Nielsen. He threw it back towards the corner and ends up coming right to where Paul Martin can move it out on the left side of Crosby. Tried to go quickly back to Martin. Turned it over for a second, but now Letang's got it. Letang looks for Crosby into the Islanders zone. Tries again to make a pass for Como that doesn't connect. Sid has turned the puck over a couple of times in his last rush up ice, and the last time he did it, Wisniewski took it away, and the Islanders had the puck in the Penguin zone for quite some time. Got to get it deep here as Como backhands it into the Islanders zone. Malkin in after it. And Calvin DeHaan has it. And DeHaan steps out from his own zone and moves it up the left side. There's Hornquist stepping up on Martin. Now the puck bounces away from Casey Cizikas. Sends it back into the corner to Matt Martin. His 4th line of the Islanders. Trying to get the puck, keep it there in the offensive zone, but the Penguins is able to move it right back into the Islanders' end of the rink. Hornquist in after it against Clutterbuck. Hits him. Hickey trying to slither his way out of his own zone, and he does. Over to Cal Clutterbuck. Swinging wide on Ehrhoff. He shoots it up high, and the save made by Greiss. And he made sure there's no rebound for Casey Cizikas. Take a look at our barrel leaders with the most points per game since the beginning of the 11-12 season. And 3 of those players are on the ice surface here tonight. Sidney Crosby leads the way.
Yeah, and Malkin gets more points per game against the Islanders than any team. Sidney Crosby's got 85 in his career against these New York Islanders. They like doing their damage here.
Quick shot off the faceoff. Brock Nelson is blocked away, and now Wisniewski goes back to get it.
That was Downey. He wants to change right now. He's gimpy after blocking that shot.
Wisniewski fakes the shot, gets Dupre to go down, and then lets it go, and the save is made by Greiss.
And another great save on Lee as Lee took the puck off Simon Dupre.
Scuderi in there battling against Lee. You see the dangerous quality of the Islanders defense with Wisniewski and also Nick Leddy and their ability to move up. Here's Adams now going the other way. A backhand shot. Halak the save, trying to control the rebound. Dupre went in there looking for it. They push him away from the net. He and Anders Lee involved.
Simon Dupre took an extra whack at the glove of Halak, who had the puck in that mitt. And now Simon Dupre is getting surrounded by blue jerseys.
This place is jam-packed. A pretty good crowd here tonight. The Islanders sold out their opener, and I think they may have another sellout here tonight, or very close to it, for this game against the Penguins. It's their final year on Long Island. They'll be moving to Brooklyn next year. Here's the Locks' attempt to freeze it. And
not much going on there. Wisniewski the other way. Took a look. Dupre goes down. There's the shot, but then watch the steal and the save there by Greiss. The second save was the big one. And as Lee stole the puck off Dupre. Looks like we got penalties. And Bo Bennett, I see 1-2 on the board.
Now Bennett and Strome are in the box.
All right. We'll even up. Roughing calls.
4-on-4. The Penguins in the overtime last night in the 4-on-4 situation dominated in terms of puck possession, but they just didn't get any shots on the net. Let's see what they can do here in this 4-on-4.
As I mentioned, both these teams have not scored a 4-on-4 goal this year. They've given up 2 apiece.
As the Penguins 19 Bennett, the Islanders 18 Strome, 2 minutes each for roughing at 5:59.
Oposo with some room here as he comes to the Penguin zone. This is DeHaan with a slapper and a save by Greiss. Paul Martin trying to skate away from Franz Nielsen. Ahead now for Kunitz. Martin for Crosby. Nowhere to go as it jumps over the glass and into the seats on the far side.
Solid defensive game for the Penguins to this point on the 4-on-4.
Christian Ehrhoff, he played in Germany for the Krefeld Pinguini. And his coach was Butch Goring, who's now the color analyst. Of course, a great player for the New York Islanders in their heyday when they won the Stanley Cup. But he actually won them a championship there, Butch Goring did. And there he is right there doing what Bobby does for us for the New York Islanders broadcast. But he actually coached Christian Ehrhoff. I love that logo, the Krefeld Pinguini in Germany.
Oh, that's awesome. The Pinguini. That's awesome.
Here's Ehrhoff under pressure from Brock Nelson. Slides it along the boards, and Olimata's trying to get there first. Tavares got a stick in there. Tavares now working, and Ehrhoff staying between him and the net if he can. Malkin had it and lost it. Tavares again holding off Ehrhoff with one arm as he controls the puck in the corner. He's hit by Olimata. Centers. Brock Nelson went to the net. It's still loose. Nelson chopping away at it, and it stays out. Malkin went to the ice to prevent that puck from going in. Defending in front of the goal. Now he and Brock Nelson get tangled up. Malkin wants to just play the puck here. Nelson's lost his stick. He goes to the bench, and Malkin takes off with the puck. Malkin goes left side to Ehrhoff. Slap shot, and a save made by Halak.
I love the Tavares work in the corner. Turning on a dime, he holds the stick of the defender, Ehrhoff, and then he makes the play out to Brock Nelson. And Brock Nelson, he's their best goal scorer for the New York Islanders. He's denied by Thomas Greiss. Some good stuff in front and a little bit of help from Hornquist as well as they collapse down on the net. But John Tavares is much more visible in this game than he was last night. He pretty much was invisible, and that's hard to say for one of the game's greats.
Wisnowski, 38-year-old defenseman of the Islanders. Slovak carries it up the right side. Letang stayed right with him, but he moved it in behind the net to Kyle Oposo. And the stick battle down there as Paul Martin works against Franz Nielsen. Oposo has it again. 13 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Sutter's got it. Brandon Sutter softly sends it behind Hickey. Gets in after the puck. Spaulding goes to the net. Sutter tried to get it to him, and the Islanders broke it up. Now the Penguins need a change here if they can get one. But the Islanders getting up ice in a hurry. They won't be able to do it. Oposo drops it off. Wisnowski dumps it to the corner. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, and a quick chance there as the puck is pushed over the net by Nielsen. And had Greiss ducking out of the way. Bo Bennett back on the ice for the Penguins, carries to center. And he'll dump it softly to the Islanders zone and get in after it against Hickey. Now it's Brock Nelson skating with it. Up the wing for Anders Lee. Feeds it into the middle to Hamonic joining the rush. Travis Hamonic into the Penguin zone centers. Strome shanked the shot, but it was still on net and swept aside by Greiss. And Strome again dances out of the check of Simon Dupre, who kicks it free for a moment. Anders Lee steps in to get a hold of it. Strome hit the deck. He fell down. He gets back up, plays the puck, trying to move it in front. Now on his backhand. Good puck control on the wall here by the Islanders. Now Scuderi over to get it, and he is able to lift it back up towards the Islanders zone. Calvin DeHaan going back to get it. DeHaan steps out from behind his own net and turns back. DeHaan had taken 12th overall in the same year that Simon Dupre was taken 30th by the Penguins in 2009. Scuderi with it. Matt Martin forces him to move it backwards for Olimata. Back to Scuderi, and up the wing now for Gotch. Marcel Gotch wants to drag it down the wing, and he does. Gotch slips a check in behind the net. Zach Sill with it there. Now it's Matt Martin. He couldn't get it out. Ehrhoff turns and shoots it, and it's going to be deflected all the way up into the seats over the netting behind the goal. Back on November 22nd of '72, the Penguins beat the Blues 10-4. This is our great day for hockey, and This day in Penguins history. Penguins rally from a 4-3 deficit to the third period, scoring 7 unanswered goals. And look at the uniform. I love that uniform that Sil Apps was wearing. I think it's my favorite Penguin uniform ever. Those blue jerseys with the triangular design on the sleeve. Here's it, Christian Ehrhoff now for Olli Maatta. And now the puck off a stick and up into the seats on the near side.
Yeah, Downey playing on the fourth line in place of Craig Adams here. Take another look at that jersey as Downey checks his face.
That was the uniform the Penguins wore in the 74-75 season. What kind of helmet was that?
I don't know. You get a free bowl of soup with that. Free bowl of soup with that lid. That's all I know, Staggy.
I think it was made by Winwell back in those days. A bowl of soup?
A free bowl of soup.
Here's Malkin dropping it back to Maatta. And off the stick of Hornquist.
Tight checking game here for the Penguins. You see it. And they're suffocating in the defensive zone. They're tighter to their man here in this hockey game. They're not swinging. They're stopping and starting.
Josh Bailey was bumped. Nielsen takes a look around, decides to go behind the net to Mikhail Grabovski.
Look at this. There's no room here. As Malkin closes on Grabovski, gets the puck out.
Malkin again just dumps it to the right wing corner, and Hornquist gets in after it. Back around to the corner for where Johnny Boychuk has it. A Boychuk's long pass is tipped in by Bailey to the Penguin zone. And then the Islanders change up, but Bailey stays out. Letang to Martin. Paul Martin up the wing now to Kunitz. To the right wing, he's looking for Como. Couldn't get it through. And Tavares goes the other way. Dropped off now for Oposo. He tried to center one, not shooting the puck. Probably could have pulled the trigger there. And now Kunitz ahead for Como. He can't take the pass. And the Crosby line of Kunitz, Como, and Sid is having a difficult time getting through neutral ice here and getting set up in the offensive zone. Here's Crosby again on the near side. Sid trying to make it happen. It comes back down to Letang for Kunitz to Crosby. Shoots it in front of Como. Trying to steer one home and couldn't do it. Good set up there by Sid for Como, who went right to the front of the net. Now it's going to be cleared back to center, and Oposo reaching for it, but Paul Martin gets it, and he just banks it in to the Islanders zone where Calvin DeHaan has it. Penguins shuffle the deck, make their changes, and it is Rob Scuderi with it. Now to Paul Martin. Drop pass not there, and Scuderi back to his own blue line. Sounds like somebody's got a whistle in the seats here. Are you hearing that, Bob?
I do.
Somebody's whistling, making it sound like a whistle. Now here's Brock Nelson shooting it over the glove of Greiss. And Sutter over trying to get a hold of the puck. Nice stick check there by Paul Martin, but Wisnowski's shot deflected a couple of times as it came through the slot.
Good work by DeHaan to keep that puck alive over on the wall, jumping in from the defense.
Nelson again. Hickey wrists one, and it's off a stick. Finally, Sutter's going to get the puck back to center ice. Wisnowski has it there. Over to Hickey, originally a first-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Kings. And Rob Scuderi, also a former King, pokes it free. And now Sill will chase the puck into the Islanders zone, trying to get it deep behind Wisnowski. Couldn't do so. And racing back now is Cal Clutterbuck for the Islanders. Crashing down the near wall. He bumps Simon Dupre. Scuderi with 2 Islanders on him. Tried it free for Gotch. Now it's centered and backhanded through the goal mouth by Clutterbuck. Martin out to the point. Leddy to Boychuk. Boychuk wrist shot this time off a leg. Martin tried to center it. And the Islanders, Boychuk can't hold it in. And they'll have to go back with Gotch chasing him. 7:14 to go here in the second period. And the Penguins continuing to lead at 1-0 on a goal by Evgeny Malkin. With a steal here by Boychuk. He stepped up on Sill. Drops it off. Here's Cizikas. Cross ice, and a pass just off the stick of Josh Bailey. And it's taken now by Sill, and he's hit in the neutral zone by Cizikas. And Cizikas goes to the bench. Nick Leddy. There's a hit on the near side. Clutterbuck and Adams to make that to Boychuk and Adams. And now Adams knocked down by Matt Martin in the neutral zone.
Yes, and Martin maybe looking for a scrap from Adams. That's not going to happen. Active D, Boychuk, Leddy, Hickey, DeHaan. They're all getting active down the wall. The Penguins still up by 1.
Spaulding shot the puck to the net, looking for a rebound from Malkin, and Malkin ends up with a puck. Now it is taken away by Nielsen. The fans getting involved now. They can feel the Islanders maybe starting to get a little surge here. And Nielsen can't do much with it as Malkin got over and made sure the puck got back out to center ice. Great atmosphere here tonight on Long Island as the Penguins and Islanders are tangled up for the second of a home and home. Here's a shot by Grabowski, and that's off a stick wide of the goal. Taken by Kunitz, who backhands it ahead. And Calvin DeHaan will skate back for it. And the icing is waved off. And both teams change up here. Calvin DeHaan trying to spring free. Stepping up, Kunitz. Como has it. Crosby on the ice as well as Kunitz takes the pass. He tried to get it to the net. Couldn't get it through. Kuhlman reverses ground against Como and leaves it now for Calvin DeHaan. Crosby trying to make a defensive play in the neutral zone on Kuhlman. Letang able to stop him in his tracks. And now into the corner is Tavares. Moving it in behind the net. Paul Martin on his backhand sends it up the right wing for Downey. Downey for Crosby in the middle. Crosby leaves it there for Letang. Just able to get there. He finds Crosby in the corner to Kunitz. And he reaching in to get a stick on it was Thomas Hickey and deflecting it out of play.
Well, tight checking period. Not a lot of great chances in the last 7 minutes without a whistle here. Wojciech on Adams. And then Martin wanted a piece.
Well, there's a look at Christian Ehrhoff, who wears athletic attire under his Penguin jersey that would give you reason to think that he's a fan of Batman. Well, it turns out he isn't. He just finds it comfortable. But if he played for the Toledo Walleye tonight, he would not have a choice. Look at the Batman jerseys they're wearing tonight against Evansville, who, by the way, will be sporting Riddler jerseys. Come on. That's good stuff.
Hey, you got to sell tickets in those minor league cities. That's what they're doing there. Probably jerseys, too. Bo Bennett backhands one towards the net. Back up the wall it comes. Brock Nelson and Brandon Sutter battled there, and now Martin just can't get the glove down on the puck to hold it in. And all the way back into the Penguin zone it goes. Grice throws it right in front of his open net over to Letang, and up the right wing now to Bo Bennett to the left side and Downey. And Downey dumps it into the Islanders zone. Hickey back four. Bo Bennett in on the forecheck. Just could not do much with that bouncing puck. But the Islanders come back to center. Strome feeds it into the Penguin zone.
Playing right wing though, Staggy, this shift is Bo Bennett. Let's see if he and Downey switch. Bennett a little bit of trouble, I thought, in the first period. And notice on this shift, he is playing the right side as Downey makes a move right at the blue line, hit by Clutterbuck. Keep your composure. You don't want to take a minor in this one-goal game.
We invite you to kick off your Sunday nights with Panthers Rewind on Root Sports. Relive every Panthers touchdown, pass, and play from their most recent matchup every Sunday night, continuing with the game that was played today against Syracuse. Panthers Rewind tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Root Sports.
Well, big win. Tune in. It's a big win for the home team. 30-7, Staggy.
So you get to watch it in condensed form tomorrow night on Root Sports. Here's the play to the corner for Scuderi. Malkin trying to move it out. Malkin to Rob Scuderi. Now for Spaulding into the middle for Dupre. Simon Dupre pulls up. Now just backhands it to the corner. Malkin strong on the puck again. He's just been busting right to that loose puck. Malkin turns and fires, and it's blocked. Now Malkin is back like a defenseman along with Ole Mata. And this is Franz Nielsen shooting, and Grice controlling the rebound.
Wise decisions. Simon Dupre got it deep. He didn't force it high. Have to do that in a one-goal game. Well, in the middle of screen, Simon Dupre is going to get a puck. Move up ice with it. Penguins are up 1-0. He's the defenseman. Malkin's coming late. He's going to stop on a dime. Malkin wants the puck. And don't force it there. Simon Dupre, very smart. Live to fight another day. Get it deep. Malkin's going there anyway. Still 1-0 Pittsburgh. And that's the maturation right there of Simon Dupre. And those are the decisions that young players have to make. And I'm not going to say he always made that correct decision.
Well, Malkin has a way of convincing you sometimes to get him a puck. There's Hamonic throwing it to the corner, and sometimes you have to be strong enough with yourself to ignore it. Here's a shot by Kunitz off the glove of Halak to the corner. And the Islanders get it and move it to the blue line, but Como in good position to swing it right back into the corner. Crosby trying to get to it, but Kuhlman able to whack it off the boards. And there it is at center ice. And carried ahead now by Oposo. Kyle Oposo A little spinorama move as he backhands it around near side, taken there by Hamonic. His shot off the stick of Ole Mata. Mata sent it behind the net. Tavares' centering pass. Great defensive play there by Como. And he was able to just fire it off the glass to get it back into the Islanders zone. 3 minutes to go in the period. Long lead pass taken by Brock Nelson. Drops it off. The shot by Strome. Hit the skate of Paul Martin. Nelson tried to center. Greiss got over to cut it off and now freezing it. And guys battling for territory there in front of the goal. And enjoy a cold one and look forward to Miller time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, Guinea Malkin with a good start to this hockey game. The only goal scorer as one found its way on edge by Thomas Greiss, and the officials right now we're all huddled up discussing something there. I know it was a late whistle there. Thomas Greiss had that puck smothered on the far side of the net. Going to drop the puck inside.
Brandon Sutter to take the draw.
A little switch there by Scuderi. Scuderi directing traffic out here and telling Dupre exactly where to go. Come from the wall. Come to the inside. Great job by the veteran Rob Scuderi. And you know, Simon Dupre is learning a lot from Rob Scuderi as he's kind of been his mentor.
His pass for Downey was not received. And as a result, it's an icing play call against the Penguins. They'll bring it back in.
Rob Scuderi. There he is, directing traffic. Simon Dupre comes over. Now he says, right here, no, I'm going you over just a little bit. So when the puck comes here, I can see, I can go retrieve that puck and put him in the right spot, in the perfect spot. Didn't he? And now he's directing traffic again. The same exact thing. Simon Dupre, look at him. Scuderi's telling everybody where to go on the ice, like a quarterback. He's already cheating behind the net. I don't know if they're going to try to go D to D behind the net.
He's talking to Greiss, too. He just gave him a little instruction there off the draw. And the Penguins control the faceoff. Steve Downey to Scuderi. Back around to the right wing side where Downey will go get it. And Downey just headmans the puck for Bo Bennett. Knocks it out of midair. Try to get it ahead to Sutter. But now it's Strome for the Islanders. And Scuderi has to go back to get it. Here comes Anders Lee. Scuderi's just able to slip that check. And now the puck back to the net. Greiss able to glove it, and Dupre pushes Brock Nelson away from the front of the goal.
Yeah, and he gets a little help from his teammate Downey. So you bring a guy like Downey in, it makes the other guys around you tougher. All of a sudden, Simon Dupre, Simon Dupre, he doesn't just sit there and stand beside the Islander. He gives him an extra shot. He said, don't even think of coming into my territory. And he knows that Mr. Downey is on the ice beside him. He's got backing. This whole team does. He brought in a lot of character guys.
And he's got his own way of defending himself, too. Simon Dupre, he's had a few fights already this year.
Oh, yeah. He's dropped the gloves 4 times.
Gotch taking the face-off. The Islanders win it. Cizikas won it back to Leddy, and his shot never got through. And now a turning attempt, and Greiss able to freeze it. Now they score. It is a goal. The puck came free. And I was looking at Greiss trying to freeze it, and I think Matt Martin's going to end up with the goal or Cal Clutterbuck. Either way, the loose puck was thrown into the net. And the New York Islanders take advantage of that scramble around the goal to tie it up.
And the right call was made. The referee didn't blow the whistle. The puck wasn't frozen. Greiss had lost his stick after Gotch had lost the face-off. They kept the puck alive. You could see it underneath the left side of the goaltender Greiss, and then put in, looks like on the backhand by Martin, his second in 2 games against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The crowd standing up here. Islanders tie it up on their 22nd shot of the night.
The 4th line of the Islanders started the game tonight, and they get the first goal of the game for New York to tie it at 1 here late in the 2nd period.
Well, Gotch is the best face-off man for the Penguins, but he lost the draw, and the puck went to the net.
Malkin looks back, and the Islanders just push it back towards Penguin ice. But Greiss did everything he could to try to freeze that puck. It just came free, and Martin was the beneficiary. Here's Letang with it now, turning. Paul Martin takes it from Letang and looks up. Finds Malkin. Malkin looks to the right wing. Turner steps into the attacking zone. Looking to corner now. Malkin over to help out. So it's Kunitz, Hornquist, and Malkin at the moment. Now Ehrhoff steps on in place of Letang and has to go get the puck. He finds Olimata. Onto the ice comes Crosby. Como to the goal, and save made by Halak. A big one there. As Como went right to the net. Found the puck. Kunitz set him up. Crosby's on the ice now with Como and Kunitz. Here's Hamonic up, working it up the wall. Taken there by Bailey. Josh Bailey into the middle now for Grabowski. Softly dumps it behind Olimata. Gets in after it. Mata takes the puck, shouldered off of it by Bailey. Crosby able to poke it away from Tavares momentarily. Now here's a shot by DeHaan that's blocked away. And Tavares has control. Hamonic's open on the near side, right side, and wants the puck, but Tavares can't see him as he's checked by Crosby and Ehrhoff. And now it's DeHaan with it. He shoots it. Wide of the goal. Kunitz over to play it. He felt Hamonic on him. He tried to clear it, but Bailey got it. Now it's back to the front of the net where Ehrhoff able to work it ahead for Como, and he just steers it back up into the Islanders zone.
And it's going to be a nice tired bodies on the ice. I don't think Mike Johnson with 4.8 will use the timeout. And they hope that Sidney Crosby can hold the fort here. Kunitz finds Blake Como, the ex-Islander, going to the net. Big save by Halak.
Sid trying to win a draw here with only 4.8 seconds to go. Oposo against Sidney Crosby. Ehrhoff able to slap it out, and that'll do it. So the Islanders with a late goal. Matt Martin scoring at 18:01 from Clutterbuck and Cizikas. And the second game of the Somanome series, a very good one here after 2 periods of play. Bob, let's go to Rob and Jay.
Back games about what you'd expect. More high scoring last night, but plenty of action tonight at Nassau Coliseum. If you're just joining us, here's what you've missed.
Poso coming to center, and Paul Martin just reached back and poked it off the stick, but now Tavares coming in, closing in, shooting. Oh, good blocker save made by Gray. Here's Malkin with it. Malkin closes in. Malkin pulls the trigger, save, and the rebound, score! Jammed in. Gotch taking the face-off. The Islanders win it. Cizikas won it back to Leddy, and his shot never got through. And now a turning attempt, and Grace able to freeze it. Now they score. So he wasn't unable to freeze it, Bob, and that was one of the only mistakes, really, if you want to call it that, that we've seen by either goaltender here tonight. You heard Rob Scuderi say it's been wide open, even though the score doesn't indicate that. That would tell me that the goalies have played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not near as wide open as it was last night, but Rob Scuderi always thinking defense. Every game's wide open for him, and Thomas Greiss has only allowed the 1 goal on the 22 shots that he has faced. Halak at the other end, he was pretty quiet. Second period, only 7 shots faced by him, and the Pittsburgh Penguins only registered the 7 on Halak. He got a little bit of a break here. We'll see how this next period is going to be played.
Well, we get our headsets all untangled here, Bobby. We can get the third period going.
Well, looking at some of the numbers there, Steggy. Marcel Gotch lost the faceoff that led to the Islander goal by Matt Martin, and he was 0 for 5 in the faceoff circle. Is 0 for 5 so far in this hockey game. He comes in at just over 56%. The top faceoff man for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Sidney Crosby has only played 10:48 of ice on 16 shifts. He's averaging 40 seconds a shift in this hockey game. Just for comparison, Evgeny Malkin has played 1 less shift, but he's played just over 13 minutes, averaging 52 seconds per shift compared to 40 for Crosby.
Hickey with the puck now behind his own net. The Islanders getting the late goal at the end of the second period. That's always a morale booster. And now a little pushing and shoving match over there between Casey Cizikas and one of the Penguins. Bo Bennett in the middle of it over there as well. Opportunity to tell you a special Inside Pirates baseball coming out. We're going to live a thrilling 2014 season packed with crucial games, key home runs, highlight reel catches, and much more. The Pirates roared into the playoffs for the second straight year, and it's worth seeing again on Inside Pirates Baseball 2014 season review Wednesday after postgame on Root Sports. Downey and Justin St. Pierre having a conversation. Downey makes his presence felt, doesn't he, Bob?
Oh, yeah. Whether it's here on the plane, doesn't matter where. You notice him.
There's Crosby with it now. Lost it to Tavares. Ahead now to Kuhlman. He shoots it up high on Grice, who deflects it and hangs onto it. So a face-off coming up.
Have you noticed the Islanders are shooting high on Grice? I've noticed that. In the replays we've shown, the Penguins, they're pretty good at putting the stick down there in front of the shooter, so that's going to have an influence on some of the shots. But Thomas Grice has had a lot of rubber up there around his shoulder blades.
There's a shot that he has to push aside for Christian Ehrhoff. Como can't get around Tavares. Tavares drops it off for Oposo. It comes through to Calvin DeHaan. Back in front, deflected wide of the net by Kuhlman. And Kunitz with speed comes to center. He tried to get it to Crosby. And here's Oposo. Turned it over to Kunitz. The Islanders in good position, though. Unable to get to the net was Kunitz. And the Islanders come back. And now it's Ehrhoff with it now. Christian Ehrhoff protects the puck as he's whacked by Oposo. And Ehrhoff will carry it ahead now for the Penguins. Christian Ehrhoff strong on the puck as he backhands it towards the net. It'll be gloved by Halak, and he'll hold on to it.
2003. Yaroslav Halak was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. Of course, he defeated the Penguins in that big playoff series, moved on to St. Louis.
He's won 5 straight starts and has allowed only 7 goals in those starts. This is the 6th start and only 1 more goal. So Halak on a pretty good roll right now for the Islanders. Malkin got a stick on that, but it comes through to Grabowski. Grabowski fires, and it's high and wide. And now here's Boychuk shooting, and that one blocked. And Hornquist goes back to get the puck against Nielsen. Nielsen pins him against the boards, and it's Boychuk again taking it to Leddy. Leddy trying to get it deep. Letang reaching for it. Nielsen there trying to take it away from him. And Letang turns his back on Grabowski, moves it up the wall for Malkin. Malkin's able to maintain possession and headman the puck to Spalling. And Spalling bounces it to the net. Halak shrugs it away to the corner. Boychuk is crushed in the corner by Nick Spalling. Spalling goes behind the net, takes the puck. Spalling moves it out now to Dupre, and Dupre right back to Spalling. Battle in front of the net. Adams is there. Malkin's still on the ice. Shoots it, and it's deflected away. Nick Leddy is pipped by Malkin, but skating out the center is Strome to Brock Nelson. Fakes the shot. Stick on puck work by Dupre, but following on, Strome works it to Hickey. Over now to Wisnowski, a shot and score.
Now it's a redirect by Lee in that high slot area, I believe. When the Islanders get that zone time, get a point shot, and a redirection. Nelson's going to be in front in the high slot there, the stick of Lee, 27. And Thomas Grice is just outside the 4x6. He's playing the shot, and when it's redirected, he's not inside the frame of the goalpost, and he misses it with the right toe. The Islanders go up 2-1 on the redirection.
Third goal of the season for Anders Lee, a 6th-round draft choice of the Islanders. And with a late goal in the second, an early goal in the third, and they now lead at 2-1. Penguins just haven't been able to generate enough offense. They've only got 18 shots. Here's Hickey with it down. He tries to get it to the net off the side of the cage. Matt Martin on the ice. Scary trying to take it away from him. Well, this 4th line of the Islanders has been very effective. Not only in the sense that they scored a goal, but they wear you down over the course of the game. And they get a fair amount of ice time, too.
They really do. And what you're looking at now is an Islander team on some kind of roll here that you've never seen in a while. It's won 7 of their last 8 hockey games.
Martin shoots it again. This one deflected up into the netting behind Thomas Grice. And the Islanders have a little swagger to their game now. Matt Martin right in the middle of all that with Downey here.
They've won 4 shootouts, all 4 shootouts this year, 6 straight in that department. And there's the hot streak for the Islanders in the last 8, with entering tonight with the 25 goals and out shooting their opponents. And the Penguins, they didn't get a power play last night. They haven't got one so far after 2 periods of play in this one. They got to get to the power play.
Hamonic's shot is gloved down by Greiss. Now they've gone over 190 minutes without a power play chance.
Well, they're going to shut the door right now. Thomas Greiss, the abominable snowman on the side of his mask. Yeah, they're going to have to get some shots here on Halak, who only faced 7 shots in the second period. What is it, 1 here so far in the third?
Como dumps into the corner. Crosby in against Hamonic. Hamonic went down. Islanders have the puck. And DeHaan carries it back. Goes left side. Kuhlman lost it. Mata ahead for Crosby. Sidney Crosby starts it from his own zone. Around Tavares. Crosby trying to do it all himself, and the Islanders just double teamed him and took it away.
Yeah, he needs more support over there, though. I mean, he just skated the puck into 5 Islanders, and the Penguins are too spread out coming into the zone. They need to be tighter together, have more support, come down the wall, chip the pucks, and go to work.
Here is Hornquist trying to get it deep. Can't do so. Paul Martin battling in front of the Penguins bench. Josh Bailey emerges with a puck. Martin lost his stick, tried to hold him off. Letang able to work the puck to the far wall, but Boychuk shot it wide over to the near side. Grabowski tries to get it to the net. It goes back to Nick Leddy. Now back around to the far side, and there's Boychuk again, charging down the boards. Filling in for him at the point is Nielsen. Behind the net for Bailey. Now it's Grabowski to Bailey behind the goal. Bailey on his backhand. The Islanders controlling the puck here in the Penguin zone. Letang trying to get free. Nielsen steps in to knock it away from him. He gets it back. Letang up the boards. Hornquist again. Boychuk really pinches a lot. If there's any way to trap him, the Penguins ought to try to do it. Here's a chance now for Malkin. Malkin trying to come to the net, and he is going to be either penalized or draw a penalty. I'm not sure which.
I think he's going to draw a penalty, and I thought it was good defense.
It almost looked like he took Hickey down.
Yeah, he threw him down. I got to tell you that. I'm not saying Hickey didn't have a little clutch on him, though. And finally, there's the free hand, and Malkin, he just threw that arm out of the way and actually just forced him to call a penalty on what was probably under normal circumstances a pretty good defensive play. So that's what you do, though, when you show that kind of passion. You drive the net, you force the referee's hand, and Hickey can't believe it as he looks up to that big screen here on Long Island. It's a hold for Hickey, and the Penguins' #1 ranked power plays on the ice.
Crosby will take the draw against Cizikas. Loose puck squirts free. Hornquist held up a little bit there as he tried to get to the corner and get to the puck, and now Hamonic decks in as the Islanders clear the puck down the ice. Malkin winds it up for the Penguins with a man advantage. A UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Here's Kunitz into the Islanders zone. Throws it across from Malkin. Came off his stick. Cal Clutterbuck looks up. He's got some ice to work with, and he shoots it all the way down the ice. Minute and a half to go in the penalty. Hickey in the box. Penguins with their first power play chance of this home-and-home series.
And they're without Letang on this power play. Ehrhoff, and Letang was on the ice to shift prior. And that's disrupting to your power play, especially one that hasn't seen the ice in 2 games.
Ehrhoff carries into the Islanders zone. Feeds it back in behind the net. Downey on the ice. Second power play unit on. Bo Bennett steps onto the ice. Crosby remains on, and Boychuk clears it all the way down the ice again. Sid will now go off. He will not play the rest of this power play, at least off for now. 51 seconds to go on it. And the Penguins' second unit trying to make it happen here. Here's Mata for Downey. Sutter goes in there to help out. DeHaan takes Downey. Hamonic takes the puck. Doesn't get it out. Held in nicely by Olimata to Letang. Letang's wrist shot. A blocker save by Halak. And it goes up into the netting behind the Islander goal. Letang had a good look at the net that time.
Yeah, everybody was forcing Olimata, trying to pressure him on the left point. The Islanders all caught on that half of the ice as Letang walked in, took the open ice available to him. That was a good blocker save by Halak. They've hit that stick as well right above the blocker as he's in discussion with the referee right now, Justin St. Pierre. Crosby right back on the ice here with Malkin. They just sat down for about 20 seconds. Right back on the ice with 34 left on the power play.
Sidney Crosby won the draw. Letang. Gino. He shoots it, and a save by Halak, and he's able to control the rebound. Hornquist is in there looking for another crack at him, and he got shoved out of there.
No, he couldn't even. They didn't even want him to take a look. Now Malkin's getting into the face of Hamonic. Those two have exchanged pleasantries over the last several years. Halak looked behind him on this shot as Malkin drifted into that face-off circle. Halak looks over his left side, and then you saw Hornquist come in with a pickle stabber and really get Halak.
Sidney Crosby looking to win another draw here with 25 seconds to go on the penalty. Penguins with a man advantage, looking to tie the game down 2-1. Crosby against Oposo. And it'll be Calvin DeHaan using the wall to get it all the way down the ice. Letang goes back for it. Cizikas hot on his trail. Cizikas hustling over on the penalty kill to try to get to the puck, but Letang got there. His pass hit Clutterbuck. He gets it back. 7 seconds to go on the penalty.
Look out.
Tavares tried to swing it ahead of Clutterbuck. Out of the net comes Greiss to shoot it away from him to Malkin. Penalty's over. Islanders at full strength. Malkin wanted to take the puck with it. Instead, he'll go to the bench.
And a couple of shots on that power play for Pittsburgh.
Ehrhoff dumps it wide of the glove of Halak over to the near side. Spaulding couldn't play it. Tavares comes back. Kuhlman cuts to the net. Tavares to the backhand, drops it up. Boychuk. His shot was stopped by Greiss, and a good save, and the Penguins were right there to clear the rebound aside.
Boy, that rebound came right by Kuhlman.
Here's Oposo. Cuts into the middle. Oposo shoots it with another big save by Greiss. And now it's Kuhlman with it out to Oposo. His drive, and it goes over the goal. And a shooting gallery right now. The Penguins with only 20 shots. The Islanders with 28.
Again, more interference by Kuhlman. The Penguins have about 8 bodies on the ice. Nobody touched it. They're going to get the change. Oposo cut to the middle on his forehand. Great position to score.
Hickey's shot sails over the goal. Wisnowski takes it down for the Islanders. He fires it towards the net wide. The Islanders do get that puck to the point, and they get their defenseman to shoot it a lot. Back down the wall it goes, and Sutter is there. Sutter's trying to send it up the boards. Held in again by Strome. Strome down the slot. His shot is blocked. Strome gets it back, though. And Strome out to Brock Nelson, a shot. And Greiss fights that one off, but then is whacked out of the air by Sutter, who lost his glove in the process. He picks that up. And back to get the puck into his own zone is Lubomir Wisnowski. One of the Islanders decked by Downey.
Downey's looking for any customer right now.
And he has really stirred the pot this time. He knocked Hickey on his back.
And he knew that he was going to have some takers as he just dropped the gloves and looked around and waited. And we'll see if the Islanders have taken a penalty enough to even anything out here. And Downey, at least Downey, goes to the box with the Penguins down by 1 in the hockey game. Well, Mike Johnson got an explanation, as did Rick Tocchet, on this penalty situation. Hickey saw the puck go by him, and he fell really on Downey's stick. And Downey came back with a shoulder. 2 minutes, and then Downey went to the penalty box. He got another 10. And updated penalty minutes look like this. Steve Downey atop the National Hockey League with 79 penalty minutes. Zach Sill in the box to serve the Downey penalty.
The Islanders are 0 for 1 with a man advantage. They've got the power play now. Boychuk goes back in the tank trying to beat him to it. And now following on is Marcel Gottsch. And Gottsch just drags the puck for a moment, finds Letang. Letang back into the attacking zone, shoots it, and Halak makes the save. And now the Penguins back off as the Islanders will try to start this power play up ice and see if they can add to their lead. It's 2-1. A huge sequence here in the special teams for the Penguins. Almost to the halfway point of the third period. Nielsen drops it off to Tavares. Now to Boychuk. Right side up, Poso a drive, kicked away. And over to the near side. The Islanders have control of it again. Centering pass, they score. Brock Nelson and Oposo teaming up. Oposo faked the shot, fed it over to Nelson.
So the penalty hurts the Penguins. Find themselves down by 2. Tavares, nobody gets more power play ice time than him in the National Hockey League. And when Martin went over to try to deny a pass and maybe block a shot, the pass was made by Oposo to Nelson. And those 3 hockey players came in tied with 18 points each to lead. They all connect on that goal. Tavares, Oposo, and Nelson. Nelson now leads the Islanders with 10 goals on the season.
A first-round pick of the Islanders, taken 30th overall in 2010.
Yeah, he's a big guy, 6'3", 215 pounds. Not overly physical, only 4 minutes in penalties.
Simon Dupre cuts behind his own goal. Hamonic with good gap, dumps it right back inside the Penguin line, but Rod Scuderi there to take it over to Dupre. And the Islanders doing a good job in the neutral zone. Penguins have nowhere to go when they get to center ice. Back to get it goes Scuderi. Martin hits him in the fourth line, right back on the ice for the Islanders after they score. Crosby hands it off to Kunitz. Bouncing puck swept away by Calvin DeHaan to the near boards. Back to get it is DeHaan. Como chasing DeHaan as he carries out of his own end. Now Como gets in there, lifts his stick and picks his pocket. Drops it back to Ehrhoff. To Sutter. And Brandon Sutter trying to get around Nielsen at center ice. Nielsen wouldn't let him do that. Referee fell down. Fans cheering about that as it's handled now by Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff works it across the ice. Malkin can't get to it. Wisnowski does to Nielsen. And Nielsen carries down towards the Penguin zone. Nielsen against Ole Mata. He's a great skater, Frans Nielsen. Leaves it for Grabowski, and his turning shot is blocked. Nielsen has that effortless stride about him.
Malkin's playing the left side. Bo Bennett has moved over to the right side here. It started in the second period. I started to see him gravitate over there. Mike Johnson maybe looking at getting him to his natural position over on that right wing to play on the forehand.
Bo Bennett in there trying to get to the puck, and he's got it. Bennett swings it onto the tape for Letang. A shot blocked in front. And then cleared by the Islanders, and back to get it goes Ehrhoff. He looks a little tired here. Is it going to be icing? Yes, it is. And they'll bring it back into New York ice with 8:28 to go in the third period, and the Islanders leading 3-1.
Well, they may use their team timeout, the New York Islanders, but now 19. As I mentioned, 18 coming into the game. They all connect on that power play goal. And if you wondered if the Penguins, if you even wondered if the Penguins were going to miss Pascal Dupuis in their lineup, you're seeing right now the evidence is overwhelming. They certainly miss him. They have to adjust their lines, the way he can play defense and kill penalties and brings a little bit of everything to this hockey club.
Gottsch tried to work it in front. Marcel Gottsch behind the net for Spallings. Spalling, Gottsch, and Hornquist, the threesome right now for the Penguins. And here is Anders Lee ahead for Strome, who pokes it in behind Paul Martin, but it went off that curved glass over there, so that'll bring the whistle. And we shall return to Long Island in a moment. Now, the Islanders are for real. They are a force in the Metropolitan Division.
Simon Dupre, he leads the Penguins with 4 hits in the hockey game. Time for our Subway sandwich of the game. There's Boychuk. Well, he's slowed down by Scuderi, and then Dupre came over to try to.
Boychuk has been literally charging down that right wing wall all night long from his right point position.
Well, he's allowed to do that. They have a lot of forwards back tracking or back checking, it used to be called, through the middle of the ice for the Islanders. They know the green light to pinch is given to the defense, and the defense do it all the time.
Turnover, Kullerman shot it, and it's blocked. And back come the Penguins. Kunitz pass for Hornquist doesn't connect. And now Kunitz trying to come to the net, lost control of the puck. It's Hornquist, Sid, and Kunitz at the moment. So Mike Johnston is juggling things, and he's got those three back together.
And Downing's out of the game here, essentially, unless they get to overtime.
Paul Martin drops it off. The Tang threw it all the way out to center ice, and Hornquist on the wrong side of the puck that time as Tavares got there, and he was able to dump it right back into the Penguin zone. Here comes Letang for Sutter. The Islanders are right there in that neutral zone, preventing the Penguins from getting anywhere. As soon as they get to that red line, there's blue jerseys in their faces. They push it right back into the Penguin zone. Matt Martin back on the ice. The fourth line of the Islanders. I'd be interested to see their ice time totals by the end of this one. In a home-and-home series, you'd like to use all your players anyway.
Well, they did. Martin had the fewest amount of minutes in yesterday's hockey game for the Islanders, just under 10, and that included a fight. He was sitting around for a while, so they really used their fourth line yesterday in anticipation of this game, and they're using them a ton in the third period here.
They started the game, too, for the Islanders. Here's Sutter into the Islanders zone. Sutter looked for Bo Bennett. Bennett to the goal, and a save made. Rebound. Shot by Dupree, and somehow it stayed out. Now it's Scuderi with it. Scuderi back behind the net for Sutter to Bennett, and he tried to chop it into the goal, and it goes up off a stick and into the netting behind the Islander net. Good shift there for Bennett, Sutter, and Malkin was on the ice with that.
I don't know if it hit the bar or what it hit. So there's Halak with one opportunity, but the second one, you may not get a chance to see it. They had a couple of good cracks there, but Dupree and Bo Bennett right at the end of this. I thought the last opportunity was either stopped by the blocker or the crossbar. A Bo Bennett quick opportunity.
Spaulding got it to the net. Now the Penguins going to the net a little harder here, but the Islanders counter, and it's Josh Bailey up the right wing, trying to get around Olimata. He skips around him. Sends the puck back over to the near side for Nielsen. It jumped over his stick, and the Penguins able to come out. Here's Como with it. Como on the ice with Spaulding right now. Gotch on the ice as well as the puck is taken by Christian Ehrhoff. And Ehrhoff heads north. Ehrhoff controls the puck to the far side. Como over to get it. Backhands it in behind the goal. Hickey falls down. Gotch steps in to get control of the puck. Marcel Gotch with a shot, and it's a save by Halak on the short side. Back around Ehrhoff. Nice pass to Como. Slap shot. Saved by Halak. I'm not sure he saw that until the last second and went off the inside of his right arm. Crosby takes off again, trying to get around Strome. Sid moves it to the right wing to Kunitz. Kunitz looks back for Ehrhoff. Instead, he finds Dupree. Now to the corner for Crosby. And he can't get around Calvin DeHaan. Dupree over to help out. Simon Dupree in deep on the play. Center zone is chopped just wide of the goal. And a good opportunity there by Patrick Hornquist. Held in now by Ehrhoff. Crosby. Working the corner now against DeHaan. And he can't do much with it as DeHaan stayed right with him. And Brock Nelson able to clear it past Dupree and back into the Penguin zone.
Best opportunity in that sequence. Simon Dupree joining the rush. First in the right wing corner and then the left wing corner to set up a play in front. Very active.
Now Dupree carries the puck. It gains the red line and uses the glass all the way around to the near side where Kuhlman looks for it. Bo Bennett got in, but it's Kuhlman to Boychuk, and then his attempt to get it up the right wing sends the puck over the glass into the seats.
So the chances are coming for Pittsburgh now here in the third period of play, and Sutter found Bennett. What, that clanked right off the mask.
Well, we thought after the Islanders had a good playoff series against the Penguins 2 years ago that they were going to have a good team last year. Things didn't go that way for them, and they were well out of the playoff picture. But now, after a couple of late offseason acquisitions, Johnny Boychuk, Nick Leddy, the Islanders are a much different team. They are definitely a force now in the Metropolitan Division, and with a win here tonight, they would tie the Penguins at the top of the standings. So this run that they're on is legitimate. And here's the Penguins. Malkin's shooting, and it's off a stick. And Boychuk has it. And the Islanders always have played well against the Penguins. And the Penguins have owned them in terms of the results, but the games have always been competitive. Here's Tavares with it. Tavares into the Penguin zone, shoots it wide. And Boychuk with a heavy shot again. Kicked out, rebound, score. Tavares. The Islanders make it 4-1.
Tavares started the play in the neutral zone. The heavy shot off the right pad of Thomas Greiss. And there's the high shot. It comes around to Boychuk. We've talked about how active he is. And watch, instead of jamming that puck into the pad of Greiss, look at the composure. John Tavares with the soft hands pulls it away from the netminder, away from his stick, and just puts it into the wide open net. And it's 4-1 New York.
Steal by Blake Como, but then cleared by Wisnowski to center. Clutterbuck carries ahead, and there's the fourth line on the ice again for the Islanders. They bring him out after every goal.
Yeah. And why not? They're active. They lead the team in hits, every one of them. He's got 4 or 5 hits every night. They play 10, 11 minutes. They know their role. They come out. They're good skaters, and they're in your face each and every time. And they love playing. They're all cut from the same cloth. It's easy to play with guys that are cut from the same cloth.
This guy, Cizikas, they actually sat him out a game, and since that time, he's really brought it up another level. Boychuk and Kuhlman assisting on the Tavares goal. Dupre with a big hit over there in the corner. He's a moose. Simon Dupre. Now Wisnowski lifts one into the slot. 3:41 to go in regulation time. The Islanders with a commanding 4-1 lead. They've outshot the Penguins 34-26. Penguins with 10 shots here in the period, and the Islanders with 12. So it hasn't been all that lopsided in the shot department in this period, but the Islanders have gotten a couple of pucks behind Thomas Greiss to lead it 4-1. And now Ehrhoff can't hold it in, and Olimata will go back to get it. The Islanders went out west. They lost the first 2 games of a western swing, and they were looking like after they got off to a good start, like they were going to settle back down, and all of a sudden they beat the Kings and the Ducks back to back, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they beat the Penguins last night in a shootout, and looking to beat the Penguins again here tonight. So they're also beating teams that are elite teams in the NHL.
Well, Penguins will move on to Boston after this one for a date with the Bruins on Monday. And Jason Megna was available to them here. 9 goals in Wilkes-Barre, and we'll see if he gets in the lineup.
Ryan Strome dumps the puck behind Paul Martin. Chris Letang goes back to get it. Montreal is beating Boston 2-0 in the third. And Michael Therrien's amazing, and the Penguins go in there and pretty much have their way with the Canadians. And then the next time they play, they beat St. Louis, and now they're up on Boston. They've got a lot of resilience in them too. Here's Sutter. He tries to come to the net. Boychuk able to steer it aside. Malkin pounces on the puck in the corner. Evgeny Malkin brings it up high. Backhand try off a stick to the corner. Malkin again works the near wall, but it's taken up the wing by Strome on his soft wing. He backhands it to the net, and Greiss freezes it. Paul Martin pushes Anders Lee away from the net. You know, Jack Capuano said before the game he wants their team to be a better home team this year. They were not a good home team last year. Their road record is very good. They are 8-4 on the road after beating the Penguins last night. And with a win here tonight, they would go to 6-2 at home.
And as you mentioned, with that clean win tonight, if they get it, as it looks like they're going to, they're going to move into a tie with the Penguins.
They're off to the best start of their franchise since 87-88 through the first 19 games. Dupre moves it along to the near side. Gotch. And he and Como got it deep. Now Dupre goes in there deep again. Moving up on the play a lot here in the third since the Penguins fell behind 3-1. And Dupre's got that in his game, and I think that he probably has kind of dialed it back a bit since they told him to emphasize defense more in Wilkes-Barre last year. But he can definitely move up and be an offensive force, at least in the zone. Maybe not scoring-wise, but in terms of presence. Now here's Como behind the net. Spaulding goes to the front of the net. Brock Nelson knocks down Como, and Ryan Strome, a first-round pick of the Islanders. Here's Brock Nelson with it, trying to move it in front. Anders Lee there. The Islanders have 11 draft picks in their lineup. 48 seconds to go. This is a young team, and a team that has won the hearts of their fans again here on Long Island. They're all on their feet and cheering right now. Lead pass. And towards the stick of Zach Sill. Sill over to get it now in the Islander zone. 34 seconds to go.
Hamonic took a run at Sill. Sill with a whack back, and both those players are going to go.
And the lines who do not want them to fight. They step in right away and break it up.
Hamonic already had a dance with Downey in the hockey game, and Zach Sill, a tough customer. He wanted to make his presence known before exiting Long Island.
This is the first game of a stretch of 5 games in 8 days for the Penguins. And I told you they're going to be playing the Boston Bruins on Monday night. It won't get any easier. Every team gets up for Pittsburgh, and they've got to deal with it every time they play. And these were obviously very huge games on the schedule for the Islanders. .6 seconds to go. Sutter against Cizikas. Nick Leddy with a puck. The Penguins played the Islanders 5 times this year. Here's Matt Martin. Martin for Cizikas. He goes in for Clutterbuck, and he shot it off a stick and up into the netting behind the goal.
38 Sill and 10-minute misconduct.
Both of the players got 10-minute misconducts. Hamonic and Sill. Sill went to the dressing room. Hamonic went to the penalty box. He was expecting a 2. Good stick on puck there by guess who?
Yeah, Paul Martin, who's blocked about 9 shots in this hockey game.
This will be the first pure loss, if you will, for Thomas Greiss, regulation loss. 7 seconds to go. 3 seconds. 2 and 1, and the Penguins fall to the New York Islanders here tonight. So the Islanders take 3 out of the 4 points, and Yaroslav Halak is our McDonald's player of the game. They outshot the Penguins 35-28.
Penguins got on the board first, and now the Islanders are 7-1 when not scoring the first goal this year. An incredible number. Absolutely incredible number. 7-1 when not scoring the first goal, and Halak has won 6 straight, and he only gave up 1 to Malkin here in this game.
The big goal, that goal by Anders Lee that broke the tie, and then the Islanders were off and running in the 3rd period. Let's go to Robin Jay.